Welcome to the LXC.
Hello and welcome to the TopHat podcast lounge. With me tonight is my co-host Bean. I saw MG and I thought of like Magnum condoms. Anyway.
Oh god.
That's definitely getting cut out.
Yeah.
Keep it in
That's
chat.
the 10 inches he was talking about earlier.
Right? He's part of the 10-inch crew. But okay, so we've got Bean as a co-host, which he's not on camera. Lucky him. Yay.
Yay.
And then we have our guest today, Jonicas, who I can actually see, who has a lovely, luscious, long hair.
Thank you very
He
much.
already gets like 10 points, and his team's gonna win. If he's on a team. You're on a
I
team,
am on a
right?
team. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
on a
his team's
team
gonna
with
win.
Doki. No, we're not
Oh,
gonna
his
win.
team's gonna
Doki's on
lose.
it.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
His team's gonna lose. And then we got Accel, who I think of Axolotl because they're so cute. So you get 7 points. And then we've got EliteOmega, which I have to squint to look at your name so you get 3 points.
I mean, that's accurate.
Yeah. So, welcome. Tonight we will be talking, and it's going to be rough because it is my first time hosting a podcast. Ooh. All right. My name is Scarlett, and this is my dog Toby, and he is the cutest dog on the entire planet. He's going to win all of LXC, which means I'm going to win it because he's my little cheerleader. I have been playing League for, I think, 4 years. I started playing support, never left the support role because it's the best role. It's the most underrated role. We always get crapped on by everyone, and you stole my kill. Wah! I started League 4 years ago. I got uber depressed, and then I started League because, hey, why not? That is how you cure depression, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Still on antidepressants. Anyway, so
Go ahead, Jonicas. Why don't
yes.
you tell us about you?
tell us
Okay.
about yourself.
I'm Jonicas. I've been playing since season 9. I started by playing Jack support, then I moved to Camille support, then I moved to Darius support. As you can tell, some of these are not actual supports. So I have a lot of diversity in some of the champs I play and some of the roles I play. Currently, I am the support for RAR Sentinel. We are going to lose.
I mean, it makes sense after what you just listed there.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I've actually been banned from playing a few of those for various reasons. Did play Cassante support in finals though.
Gross.
Accel, what about you?
I am Accel. I'm old as shit. I've been playing since season 2. Still just as bad as I was when I started. I play ADC for Team PNS. I'm the Draven main that Scarlett was
no.
talking about earlier. Sword,
Yeah.
if you're listening, don't take my kills. I will kill you.
It's true, he will.
Seems
Uh,
aggressive.
EliteOmega.
Hello, I'm EliteOmega. I'm the owner of Galaxy Gaming. I've owned that org since about 2018, and I've recently revived it to play in LXC.
Nice. I'm Bean. I've been playing for quite a while, since season 1. Playing competitive since 2015, and I still suck just like Accel. And I'm just planning on watching all of Arbiter as much as I can, and I've been around the IBS and IBSG scene for quite a while.
Do you know what I thought of when I saw IBS for the first time when I learned about leagues? Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes.
Because I work in healthcare, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's about right for the lower ranks.
I mean, it's kind of how when you watch their team fights in objective control, that's pretty much what it looks like. It's just
Yeah,
kind
it's
of a
like-
mess of everything.
Riot might not be
Bowel
good at
everywhere.
balancing, but they're good at names.
But I
They
can
know-
tell you this, it's way more fun than playing in the next league higher. Because, like, they're all trying to be organized, specific. Man, when you can just have a clown fiesta in IBSG, it's the best.
Legit, I want it in there.
Bean, I think you've been out of the scene for a little bit. Gold is like that. I mean, Plat is like that too.
Every
Oh, is it?
every
It's just-
game Plat is in. Every game
Yeah,
Doki
it's just-
is in. Every game Doki is in is also a clown fiesta. Don't
It's
forget
just
the
us,
Doki
but a little bit better.
Yeah.
And now we go on to, drum roll please, the first topic. Arbiter League. Sector 1 versus Sector 2.
Which is the
Nice
group
list.
of death? Which
Which is
group is the group of death?
Group of death. who makes playoffs just by looking at a preseason paper?
Accel, did you want to go first?
Yeah, Bean and I were actually discussing this a little bit earlier, and Bean was telling me that there is no group of death or group of life. I disagree, based purely on numbers. One group has more teams than the other group, so the group that has more teams obviously is the group of death, because there's a bigger chance of you being one of the teams that's not going to playoffs. So for me, I think Sector 1 is the group of death. I think Sector 2, there's only 2 teams that are not going to make it, so you have a pretty low chance of being one of those 2 teams. You just got to be a little bit better than, the last 2 teams.
Who do you think is making playoffs?
From each group?
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it might be easier to say who's not making it. So let me take a quick look and see. I think for group 2, that's the one I'm going to talk about more, just because I'm in that group. I think Contingent Red is going to have a tougher time, and then I think that Jolly Roger is going to have a tougher time. I think those 2 are the ones that are going to be on the lower end of not making it. Contingent Red, we faced them, I think in a scrim, but their players have changed, so I'm hoping that they're better than when we faced them. They struggled a little bit when we scrimmed, and we've since changed our roster as well, so that one's a little bit more up in the air for me. For Jolly Roger, I think it's a ton of new names, so I think just not knowing how comp really works and kind of learning, even with Rex, who's been around in the scene for a while, kind of guiding them, they're gonna just struggle a little bit more getting into the rhythm of it. So those are my 2 for Sector 2. For Sector 1, it's a little bit higher, but I think Dynasty is going to struggle. And I know that they had a million different roster situations going on. The players that are still here from the original roster that they had is definitely good players. So I'm hoping that their new faces kind of just keep it going, and in which case they will make it, but otherwise they won't. And then I think that RAR won't make it purely because I have to say that. It's in my contract. And then lastly, I think Jolly Roger, again, same deal. They've got some people that have been in the scene for a while, like Rodney and Achilles, but they've got some new faces as well. So having your 2 veterans kind of guiding your new players and learning how to play comp as opposed to solo queue is going to be a little bit of a struggle that other teams won't have to worry about. So those are my 3 teams from Sector 1 that I don't think will make playoffs.
Was there anybody else doing Arbiter?
I have done a bit of research on Arbiter. I have a similar opinion to Accel on a couple of things. However, I do disagree with one thing. Now, as I don't know much about the name branding of some of these people, I went solely based off of op.gg, which, the most reliable source of information in regards to player skill. So from this, I actually have PNS as one of the highest ranked teams in Arbiter group in Sector 2, and I have the TD teams in Sector 1 as the highest. I was similarly to Accel, I was not a fan of the Dynasty team in Sector 1, and I was not a fan of the Team Red in Sector 2. I do, however, think that the Jolly Rogers in Sector 2 do look good on paper in terms of solo queue mentality. I think they have capable players, which might be enough to just get them through.
Awesome.
I disagree with you. I think that PNS team is absolute dog water.
I also agree with that take. That if they want to win, they might as well put in their backups.
Yeah, I have them power ranked at 9th on Sector 2.
Aw. Poor guys.
There's
I
7 teams.
Disagree with I disagree. My friend is on Team Red. His name is Nick Bob, and he may be pretty low right now in the ranks, but I just want to point out that he is definitely one to watch. His name is Nick Bob. He has currently fallen into the unfortunate iron zone, but you know what? He really gives it all, and you guys should all be scared of his masses. Maybe,
I-
but so I just want to like root for Team Red just because Nick's one of my friends, although he doesn't come around as much
I hope they
anymore.
beat us.
Yeah, I hope they beat you too.
You also have Queen Frost on that team, and I heard that Queen Frost is a back-to-back EDL All-Star. I think it was for mid lane,
Ooh.
but I think now he moved to ADC. But that's definitely something to look at because usually if you're that good at a position, you're probably at least going to be decent at another one. So for me, yes, I don't believe there's a group of death. I believe that 5 slots for each section, it really gives a lot of opportunity for any team to make playoffs. You really just can't be bottom 2 or bottom 3. And that's not a hard ask of any team, really. So I feel like they're both kind of a group of life. But if there was a group of death, of course, it's the one that eliminates 3. I think the teams that make playoffs should be probably the TD teams, just because we know most of those players. They've been around for quite a while. A lot of them have really good synergies already in place. I think OSG has been around has probably been playing at a higher level around the longest, so they're going to make it as well. And I think the other teams have a lot of question marks in terms of where they're actually playing in positions and stuff. So based on all that, I mean, it's really hard to say, but I had Contingent Red and Conduit Monarch not making playoffs, and I think I had Dynasty, Tactical Feed, which I'd like to talk about later, Tactical Feed, and RAR not making it.
I do have a leak regarding one of the
Agree.
TD teams.
Oh,
TD Poro is actually starting Fritz in
Oh.
the ADC position.
ooh.
Oh, wow. That's actually a big difference. I think
That actually does help a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's necessarily an upgrade, but it's definitely a different kind of player than the one that was there prior. I think Husky was the ADC
Yeah, it was
for them
Husky.
before. Yeah.
Nah, I live in Fritz's head. He's cooked. Fritz, I hope you're listening.
Wait, do you even play them? You don't even play them.
No, we don't play them until
You don't
playoffs.
even- you won't see them until maybe finals. I will say something about Jolly Rogers though, that they're new, so it's hard to actually put a scale on them, like where they are. They do have 1 or 2 veterans on each team, but they actually tried a new strategy in picking up players. They're pulling straight out of solo queue. They were able to go on a Reddit post basically and pull brand new talent from there, and so it's going to be a lot of new faces, maybe a new sets of carries, maybe names we'll start talking about in a couple of years from now about being good players and veterans. So it's actually very interesting to see what Rex does with all that.
All right, so in Arbiter, who do you guys think is the #1 team that's gonna make it from each of the sections?
All right, I'll go first this time. So mine was actually pretty easy. It's kind of based on strength of players and synergy and how long they played. The #1 team I think is, and to me it's kind of a gap. It's OSG Avalanche. They've been around for quite a while. They've been playing at a higher level for IBSG, and I mean 7 months of playing with each other. I scrimmed them with one of my teams. We were a top 4 team in a different league, and they were able to take 2 games off of us in a scrim. That doesn't say everything, but it kind of tells you they're at least at a top level. And that was 3 months ago, so they've only gotten better since then. I'm assuming they did. And then for Section 2 is TD Harmony. When you just kind of look at the lineup, you have Exile. He's the best top laner in the league. I'm not sure if it's close. There's a couple that could probably get there, but I need to see more out of them. You have Toxin, which can be a question mark. I'm not really sure if he's going to be a top jungler, but he's good. He's a good glue player in terms of he'll keep the team together if things start to go wrong. You have Frost, who's an up-and-coming mid laner. When he gets fed, he can hard carry the game. You have Jonicas, who is absolutely amazing. He's actually an IRL friend, and he's a workhorse. And then you have Neo, who you could argue may not even should be in this elo at the moment, but he's really, really good as well.
For me, I have us, obviously, because I kind of have to, or else I'm going to get flamed. at some point we're gonna have to switch in all of our subs into the starting spots, and then it's a free league. And then in Sector 1, I have TD Poro, because if I don't have them in finals, how am I gonna deny Hoodie his championship, which is the only reason we signed up for this league. So it's got to be done. It's got to be us versus them in the finals. But I will say I agree. I think for TD Harmony specifically, Jonicas is underrated. He's really, really good. Zill is probably the best top laner, but I'll cook him. And then I think that the other, like, all three TD teams actually have really, really good top laners. I've scrimmed against Pain. I've seen JFK play for a while. All three of them are really, really good. And Zill is like Zill. I don't think I've seen him lose a lane in like 2 years. So he's obviously going to win. I think Toxin stinks. Smelly boy. He's going to lose. I hope. Frost is good. Neo should not be in this league. So I'll give you that. The ones that I'm like kind of iffy on is TD Poro out of all three of the TD teams. I think that they have been doing some roster changes and kind of figuring out their stride and what their best lineup looks like. So I'm curious to see kind of what happens after like a few weeks, because right now I think that they're still kind of rough around the edges. For us, obviously, I'm the GOAT. My support sword. Giga holds me back. So, it really just depends on whether or not he decides to log in that day. I hope he doesn't.
It is true. Support lives don't matter.
It's so
True.
good, though.
My personal opinion,
Everything is his fault.
I was gonna comment on the JFK thing. JFK, when he's like hot and cold, like when he's hot, he's like Exile hot, and he could carry a team super hard. But when he's cold, it could be a rough game for everybody. And it's just like, he's one of those players I was talking about. I need to see a little bit more. And if he can keep his hot as it is, and then stay there consistently, he'll absolutely be able to take on Exile in the top lane for sure.
I also want to touch on Trash's team and Team Siren, because both of them are 4 fun teams. They're literally just here to hang out with each other. They're all really good players, so those are going to be some interesting situation with them, depending on whether or not they decide to, like lock in and actually play for real.
I think it'll be Roar versus TD Harmony in the finals, just because of org prestige, honestly. Doki always has something up his sleeve. Most of his championships are IBS leagues or IBSG leagues.
It is actually funny you bring up Doki. I've prepared a special excerpt in reference to our Lord and Savior, Doki for the win. Now, I've consulted many experts and
Analyst Steve
to discuss his chances of success, and I'm going to just share those excerpts. Quote, given Doki for the win's unique skill sets, competitive spirit, and the intriguing blend and strengths and challenges he brings to the table, it is plausible to suggest that he stands a good chance of making a strong showing in the upcoming LXC tournament. With a proven track record of success, a flair for innovation, and a determined mindset, Doki for the win could well be a formidable contender for the championship title, poised to leave a lasting impact on the competitive landscape of League of Legends eSport. That is the first section, and here is the second section. The efficacy of not taking Flash's Summer Spell in League of Legends is in the fast-paced world of League of Legends. The Summer Spell Flash has long been considered a staple for survival and outplay potential. However, in the specific role of jungle, where mobility and map control are paramount, the decision to forego Flash in favor of other Summer Spells can be a strategic choice, with both pros and cons. Pros of not taking Flash's Summoner Spell. By opting for combat-focused Summoner Spells, like Smite and Ignite, jungles can enhance their dueling potential and secure kills more easily during ganks or skirmishes. Summoner spells like Ghost or Exhaust can provide enhanced map presence, allowing junglers to move around the map more quickly or assist in countering enemy threats effectively. Objective control in scenarios where securing objectives such as dragons or Baron is crucial. Summoner spells like Smite and Teleport can offer better control and presence around these key areas. Cons of not taking Flash's Summoner spell include the fact that Flash is a versatile spell that offers a reliable escape mechanism in dangerous situations. Without it, junglers may find themselves more vulnerable to ganks, or not being caught out of position. You know, jungles definitely get ganked a lot, I swear.
What have I done?
This is the best. This is the bad part. In the absence of Flash, junglers may be more susceptible to being caught out by crowd control effects or being unable to reposition quickly during teamfights. Notable instances of opting out of Flash in jungle include high damage junglers. Some high damage junglers, like Olaf or Shaco, can benefit from aggressive sunrise spells like Ignite or Exhaust instead of Flash to maximize their kill potential. Champions with global ultimates like Nocturne or Talia can prioritize teleport over Flash to capitalize on their... What? Can prioritize teleport over Flash to capitalize on their ability to impact lanes from a distance. Counter jungling specialists who excel at this, such as Nunu or Shyvana, might opt for a combat summoner to assert dominance in the enemy jungle. If your team lacks engage or crowd control, opting for summoner spells like Ghost or Exhaust can help compensate for the lack of lockdown potential. Players who prefer an aggressive playstyle and thrive on early game pressure may find more success with combat-oriented summoner spells to secure kills and snowball leads. Against jugglers with limited mobility or champions who are vulnerable to early aggression, foregoing Flash in favor of combat spells can exploit their weaknesses effectively. While this all acts as a good application of theory and white room optimization, it is important to draw on examples of this occurring in practice. For this, it is important to look at one of the most influential minds who embrace this strategy, the notorious Doki FTW, more commonly known as Doksta. An enigmatic jungler with a penchant for defying strategic norms and stirring controversy into the otherwise strategically stagnant competitive scene. The Doksta's presence in the League of Legends community is marked by a series of intriguing traits and peculiarities that set him apart from his peers. Doki's steadfast refusal to include Flash in his arsenal of summoner spells has become a defining feature of his playstyle, showcasing a willingness to eschew conventional wisdom in favor of unorthodox strategies. Leading the team of RAR, Doki has demonstrated an exceptional leadership skills and strategic acumen, guiding his squad through the competitive landscape with a blend of innovation and determination in which his refusal to take Flash is prominent. Despite his own ranking, Doki fearlessly treads into higher elo matches, challenging himself against elite opponents and showcasing his ability to compete at a formidable level and effectiveness of this technique. Doki's jungle pathing is a masterclass in unpredictability as he prioritizes map control and vision over traditional farming, often sacrificing resources for the sake of map awareness and proactive plays, sometimes using teleport in place of Flash to gain further advantages. With its distinct communication style and quirky grammar, Doki's linguistic quirks have become a trademark of his persona, adding a touch of eccentricity to his interactions within the community, which sometimes detract from the apocryphal message. Despite his undeniable skill and dedication, Doki has faced a string of defeats in finals across various leagues, solidifying his reputation as a talented player plagued by the curse of falling short in crucial moments, something we witnessed in the last season of LXC Sentinel. The question one must ask is whether his lack of Flash is to blame, or the team that refused to adapt to his genius. His strategy has been so infamous that it's been stolen by competitors mid-match. In regular season of SCL Season 3, VBU faced RAR and decided to implement a full team-wide Flasher strategy, which netted them a win against RAR in the game. As an emblematic figure in the League of Legends landscape, Doki epitomizes the complexity and diversity of talent within the esports realm. His unyielding commitment to an unorthodox playstyle, coupled with a penchant for stirring controversy and defying expectations, cements his legacy as a polarizing yet captivating presence in the competitive scene. In the ongoing saga of League of Legends esports, players like Doki serve as a reminder of the boundless creativity and individuality that define the sport. As the community continues to evolve and adapt, embracing both tradition and innovation, figures like Doki stand as testaments to the enduring spirit of competition and the multifaceted nature of success in the ever-changing world of professional gaming. In conclusion, the decision to not take Flash as a summoner spell in League of Legends can be a calculated risk that offers strategic advantages while also exposing players to certain vulnerabilities. By weighing the pros and cons, considering notable instances, and accessing the specific game context, junglers can determine when to opt out of taking Flash to maximize their effectiveness on the Rift.
I was gonna say
I'm a
that is
Doki truther, so I'm gonna tell my. I'm a Doki
crap.
truther.
Fucking-
Holy, like that was long. Like that was so long.
That's a paper.
Can you make that its own category? Make that its own timestamp. Jadoksta.
You're welcome.
Alright, now that we've talked excessively about Doki, let us move on to Sentinel, which is where my team is currently. So of course I will boost my team in the intro here. My team is called, its acronym is VCY, we're Veracity. My friend Prados and I, we decided to start up this team. He originally didn't want to do competitive this season. It didn't go well for him last season. He was on a different team, but clearly being on my team is going to be so much better, honestly. And I have a couple of newcomers to my team, which is Prowl. He's a jungle main, but he's learning top right now. He's very dedicated to learning, running it down, but we love him, and he's doing great at it. We have Sharky in the mid lane. He's a pretty solid mid laner, always room for improvement. And then we have my friend Jordan, which is Paradoxal in the jungle. And he did say that if you ban his Belveth, he will cry. So
I do actually have that in my notes. It says Belveth,
Yes.
just ban Belveth.
Nope. Yes. So he'd like everyone to not ban his Belveth because it makes him very sad when he's not allowed to play it. So that is a little spiel on my team. Okay, questions for everyone for the Sentinel team. What is everyone looking forward to seeing? Because Sentinel is like the mid-tier of the league, the best league, because you know we're in it. But what are we all looking to see, and what early predictions? You know, my team winning, of course. But what are your predictions on the rest of the teams? EliteOmega, go first.
Okay, here's the hot take. There will be not a hotter take in this entire podcast. I think Veracity is going to win the entire league.
Yes, thank you.
That was
You
my
have, like-
take.
Dude, you have 10 points. Like, you are my best friend.
I say Team Pod / Casters is the way to go. Like, I have to
Yes.
support it. I don't have a choice.
Mhm.
It's
You
number
have to
one.
support my team.
But
Feel.
I feel like needlessly large Rod will also do really good in this league.
They're fine. We'll do better.
I think
But actually,
Conduit's
Yeah, Conduit's
sub
good.
does not make playoffs. The rest of the team does, just not the sub.
Oh,
Quite
Why?
bold.
Yeah, it's my take. Bean, any thoughts on that?
No.
Wow.
It seems that he agrees with this stance, as he did not invoke his Fifth Amendment rights, and therefore is not actually using them, and therefore we can't actually determine a conclusion from his abstinence.
For me, my take that's not meme is we see Angie and Rar in finals. I think that Feathers is a really good player. He's got his like little style of like playing 5 champions, but he gets any of those 5 champions and he's gonna carry his team. And if you use all 5 of your bans on him, his team just kind of gets to do whatever they want. So it's not really worth it. And Feathers has never not had one of his teams go to playoffs at least. He will literally carry them like kicking and screaming by himself if he has to.
Nice.
Angie, on the other hand, I mean, they got Outrage. He stinks, but, you know, it is what it is. Somehow he made it on yet another roster. And since he's done griefing me on Thursdays, hopefully he will play well here and actually, you know, put up some numbers instead of just getting carried by me week after week. and get his team into playoffs?
I don't have a whole lot. Actually, Veracity actually was the team because I am pro caster here, so
Yay!
I kind of really do have to. But
Thank you.
there's only a couple teams I could really talk about. I could talk about the team that I'm on. I honestly could not tell you how scrims or anything is going. Razor refuses to divulge that information, but Final Captain's a pretty good top laner. No Name is a solid jungle, as well as Razor's in the mid lane. Exile is finally playing his proper role as an ADC, because whenever he plays anything else, he just plays range stuff. So I'm glad to see he's finally in his right place. And then Rocky is just a support enter, so I'm not sure what he's doing on the team.
I like
But
it.
TD Blessed, I also know a little bit about. One Hand's actually mechanically is super good. Him and I had some really good top lane matches, and it's by far the most fun I ever play in the game. And then Physiology is a decent support. He was in BOL as a ADC, I believe, but I think support is more of his role. So I expect TD and Conduit to hopefully make playoffs, but I also can see that the rest of these teams have a lot of really good players. You just talked about Feathers. Outrage was a really good top. I don't know how he's going to be on ADC, but hopefully...
He's an enter.
Yeah, hopefully
Glad
he's
I
an
hope
enter,
so.
yeah. But that's all I got.
I actually have more to say. Wow. I know a few of these players, so it's a little bit easier for me to talk about them. Actually, Angie, I have scrimmed against before. It went good, and then it went really bad. The manager is actually a friend of mine, Dira. He has a few teams in different leagues. He's quite a good manager. Sometimes we play customs with him and stuff. But that is a very strong team. I'd also say another player to look out for would be Ube Awesome. I played with him a little bit off of needlessly large rods. And he is a really good, solid, rounded ADC. So he's definitely one of the ADCs to look out for. Okay, so I guess the next question would be... Oh, I always hate asking this question, the bottom teams. I don't want anyone to be in the bottom. But what are the predictions for... I believe it's 2 teams that won't be making it. What is everyone's prediction?
It's 3
teams, yeah.
3? Oh, God.
I think...
3
Yeah.
teams.
9 teams, 6 make playoffs, 3 don't.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
mine would have to be Dropping Point, and then BLM, and after that, it's kind of a toss-up.
I
One of the
agree.
TD teams.
Yeah, I agree exactly with Bean. I don't know about TD, but I do think that Dropping Point and BLM are probably the 2 that are not going to make it. And then after that, it's kind of just up in the air.
I have a bit of a hot take for TDB. So, looking at them, I looked at their OP.GGs, right? So I looked at some of these players, and my take on their top laner is he's an ego player, but without hands, which is something you typically need when you play ego champions. I saw his Riven, he has a 10% win rate across 30 games. He just doesn't win. And it's his one trick, apparently. He literally can't play his one trick. Their jungle? This man has 12 consecutive losses, and then another 12 consecutive losses. I don't understand. Their mid laner's called Riven, but he doesn't play Riven. Why?
I can explain some of this stuff. So Abyss only plays Riven because of the mid laner Riven in his honor, and that's why he's so bad at it. And then
Okay, but what about his
He's trying to lose to throw you off guard. He just doesn't want to give you his best for you to be able to scout him out.
Okay, and then my take on their ADC is he does have one more hand than his top laner. That's still one less than the average person, though. So I'm not a big fan of one hand because he only got one hand. And then for physique, support lives don't matter, so null and void.
So true, though. So sad.
Yeah, I actually have that as a note under every single support. Support lives don't matter.
I actually have a quote from One Hand that I think will really, really help with this discussion. Excuse my language. I'm just gonna quote him exactly. Fuck, my nub hit the F key. This was in finals.
Mm-hmm.
We won.
I love one hand.
One hand is on my list of my favorite teammates, and I've been playing for a long time, so I got a lot of them. I think ADC fits him a lot better than top lane based on like how he plays. So I'm excited to see him. He's also a sub on my team, so you know I gotta root for the boy.
I've never played with him, but I played against him. It has to be around 20 times in actual league play because we had several best of 5 series against each other. So like, I may not know him as a teammate, but as an opponent, I don't know if anyone knows him better than I do. And he's so much fun to play against.
So I have a hot take. Well, I'll say my normal takes first. I don't think CEP is gonna make it, DPH, and then my hot take is I don't think NLE is gonna make it. And I don't have a good reason. I feel like they're just gonna fuck it up.
You just
You're
got the
gonna win it
vibes.
all.
Is it because their
Okay.
manager and coach is named Piglet?
No, they just have a lot of questioning.
I actually do have some justification for why NLE will make playoffs. For their top laner, I have the note of the buffs. Based off of how he's playing top lane, honestly looked like there was some cosplay going on here. Then for their mid laner, I have the note of 11 game loss streak, which I think is worth noting.
I think you guys are both wrong. That team's going all the way.
They're going on
NLE to the moon.
I actually love these
Yeah.
stats you're throwing out because it's making my ring solo queue time, making me feel better about it. Like, that's a lot of game solutions in a row.
I'm just glad we're done talking about Arbiter.
I told
Look at my
you
stats.
I told you I went through every single person's stats. There's a reason why I'm flaming everyone. I have the stats to prove it.
I think
don't
I'm
go
not
through
playing this
mine.
split.
Well,
Mine are so
I-
bad.
I also have their ADC listed as not a carry. He just didn't carry any of his games in solo queue. He needs to step it up. Oh no, don't worry. You are noted for not being a carry in that in Arbiter.
Wait, am I noted for being the best support alive?
No, you're noted for support lives don't matter.
Oh, legit. Yeah, low, yeah. Oh, it's so true. I will save my ADC, and then he'll be like, "Why didn't you block it sooner?" And I'm like,
What do you have for Exile 69 on CEP?
Oh yeah. Wait, give me a second. I need to find him. Wait, CEP or TDH? I have him on both teams.
CEP.
Auto-filled.
nice.
Sorry, that makes me feel good because he keeps beating the crap out of me in top lane.
Yeah. On TDH, I have this isn't a top laner.
Which is exactly what I said.
Dang, these
Well-
guys are gonna beat everybody. Just saying.
Also, just general question: why is essentially half the league ADC mains off roll?
Because
Because
everyone
we're
plays
bad.
ADC, apparently.
No one wants to play ADC because ADC gets blown up in one hit.
No.
Okay, then play a
because
mage.
ADCs have egos, and so they think they can play other roles.
Look, ADC is really, really easy as an ADC main. I got coaching from a guy named Gummy about a year ago, and it was very simple. It really clicked with me. Don't die, idiot.
Fair.
Super easy.
Super easy.
Coin flip level 2. It works 50% of the time.
You know, that is a good point. Now, what is your opinion on the level 1 invades of Doki? Do you think those are a 50-50?
We went 5
Not if
minutes with
Doki's doing
Doki.
it. It's 100% one of the plays of all time.
I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Alright, so since they have a lot of teams, there is Sector 1 and Sector 2. So, just like Arbiter, which group do you think is the death group, and which will make it to playoffs based just solely on stats and predictions? And I'm gonna choose Accel to go first.
I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know a lot of these players, but I do know some of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and say one team from each sector that I think is just gonna straight up win. And it's solely based on the fact that they're my friends. I got Clown Gaming. They've got Wookiee, Resilient, A-Bound, all of them super good. And even their like subs are really good. Caro's good. Sems is a person. And then for Sector 2, I have Conduit because it's got all of my boyfriends and Yipsy.
I like it. Ooh, go ahead.
The first group is so much stronger than the second group. It's not even funny. There
Yes.
is no singular gold. Oh, there's one gold starter on the starting rosters on Section 1, and that's on DT. But it's corn on the cob. And everyone loves corn on the cob. So I don't think you can compare the two groups. As I think Cynical will end up winning Group 2 again. And possibly be in finals again. The only teams that I find good in Section 2 is Cynicals and then Team Yellow. Other than that, everyone seems like they're just hot doo-doo. Respectfully.
Respectful doo-doo. I like it.
I do actually agree with the point of the first sector being stacked. Looking at my power rankings, almost all of Sector 1 is in the top half of the general power rankings. And I did have an
Analyst Steve.
fact check this, so everything I'm saying is objectively correct.
Let's hear the list.
Oh, you want the list? Okay.
Yeah, let's
So-
do the list.
So
Yeah, give
first,
some content for Crusader.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so first one, Enemy Marauders. Second, RAR, the classic. 3, Summoners After Dark. 4, OMT Zeus. 5, Conduit Glory. 6, Divine Temple. 7, CG Blood Moon. 8, Expired Bandits. 9, Optimal Esports Prodigies. 10, Bare Minimum. 11, The Caged Monkeys. 12, Contingent Yellow. 13, Galaxy Gaming, and last place, Syndicate Strokers.
I love that name.
I know it might be bold to put a quote-unquote the previous league champions in last place. However, I think it's important to understand that some of developments in terms of the teams have changed, and because of that, we cannot just accept them as the still reigning champions. I don't know what those reasons are, but they exist probably, according to my
Analyst Steve.
now.
I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm
No,
gonna disagree with you about that, but go ahead.
Now, according
Analyst
the
Steve.
reason why NLE Marauders, RAR, and Summoners After Dark are so far ahead is because of the following reasons. For NLE Marauders, quote, consistent performance. NLE Marauders have shown consistent performance in previous matches, indicating strong and well-coordinated team. The team likely consists of experienced players who can handle high-pressure situations and make strategic plays. NLE Marauders may have a deep understanding of the game's meta and strategies, giving them an edge over the competitors. For RAR's players might possess exceptional mechanical skills, allowing them to outplay opponents in crucial moments. The team could be known for their adaptability to different playstyles and meta shifts, making them a challenging opponent to predict and counter. RAR may have strong team synergy, enabling them to coordinate effectively and execute strategies with precision. And lastly, Summoners After Dark might be known for their innovative strategies that catch opponents off guard, give them the advantage. The team likely has standout players with exceptional individual talent, capable of making game-changing plays. They may also excel in shot calling, making quick and decisive decisions in critical moments of the game. These notable reasons contribute to the placement of the top 3 teams in the rankings, showcasing their strengths and potential advantages over the competition.
Where was the Caged Monkeys on that list?
Cage Monkeys are 11 out of 14.
Okay, I'm kind of curious why they're not last. Just because I'm looking at like all the ranks and stuff, and I don't want to pick on Riley Slots, but I'm sorry, I kind of have to. You have actually a silver top laner on that team. It's literally the lowest ranked, and it's not even close.
It's from.
Analyst Steve.
I don't think it's a real list.
But that's kind of crazy. I know that's like it's a joke, but like they definitely probably should be at the bottom just because of that, and they have a gold as well on there.
now.
Yeah, but Onset's really good. Onset's really good as a player, like in comp.
I'm currently consulting
Analyst
to
Steve.
their thoughts on this.
Yeah, so I think Onset is a really good like player for comp.
They
I
need
don't know
to
what his
raise-
solo queue situation is like. I'm gonna disagree with Syndicate, even though I know it's
Analyst
them
Steve.
disagreeing with. I'm a Jackson truther, and while Chris is a dirty inter and is going to hold the team back, I think Jackson can coach him into being a good player.
Okay, interesting. Now, the reason why Caged Monkeys specifically are ranked 11 out of 14 in the tournament could be due to various factors such as performance, win-loss record, team synergy, individual player skills, and overall strategy. It's possible that they may have faced tough competition, struggled in key matchups, or experienced challenges in adapting to the metagame. Additionally, factors like roster changes, communication issues, or lack of experience could also contribute to their ranking position. To improve their standing, the team may need to focus on refining their gameplay, analyzing opponent strategy, and working on team dynamics, something they are apparently lacking in.
I don't know. I realize we are arguing with
Analyst Steve.
Yeah.
But like when I'm looking at it objectively, because I don't know any of these players, I don't know anything at this level.
I
really.
don't either.
But when I'm looking at the ranks, I'm like, well, isn't this the obvious one at the bottom? And like, because they may be way better than all the other teams, they just don't do well in solo queue. But like, just looking at it objectively, based on what
Analyst
you
Steve.
should be looking at, you would think. I thought that would be the obvious team.
I only put in so much information. I did not. You seem to overestimate the information I gave it. I gave it the team names and who they're facing, and then called it a day.
I gave you too much credit. That's my fault.
No. I put most of the time into the Doki rant. You should know this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was an epic rant.
That
It was
quite
an
the
entire-
rant.
I would grade it diamond. Not emerald, not quite masters, but definitely diamond.
Interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that.
One team, well, just because I do know one of the players that I think is the team to look out for is bare minimum Dira, who is in the support role, is actually a very formidable support. He plays a lot of engage, and he will basically wreck your shit up. And then the ADC will come in and steal all of the glory, so it looks like the ADC didn't, That just goes in general for all ADCs. The support does 90% of the work, and then the ADC gets praised for it.
I think we're playing with different supports.
Yeah, I try to play for the team. Sometimes I will. Well, I call it kill secure. Everyone else calls it chaosing, but same diff.
It's gold either way. Who cares?
Exactly. Supports need gold in order to support you better. So giving us, 1,000 gold shutdown when you could have given it to your ADC, definitely worth it. Just to see the look on their face and the screams that they make is so satisfying.
Well, I think the key thing for that is supports need to properly understand their role within the game, and being able to adapt to an influx of gold is actually a skill set. Because yes, Nautilus is a tank, but you know what? Nautilus has a lot of AP ratios. So if you do get that 1,000 gold shutdown, maybe consider getting a Dark Seal, or if you already had a Dark Seal, finish a Medjai's. That'll definitely pay off.
Knock it off, Jonicas. Knock it off.
Next time you land that hook on that ADC, guess what? You don't have to worry about your ADC following up. That ADC gets one shot, and then they're complaining to Riot based off of Nautilus's AP ratios.
Ooh, I just thought of a question. It's not on the questionnaire, but can I ask it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. This is random, but what champion do each of you ban almost every time? What is the champion you are scared of the most when you're going into a matchup?
Whatever my support is hovering.
That's just toxic.
So they're gonna
my
lock in
auto
Sona every
ban.
game.
My auto ban is Brand because fuck that champion. You shouldn't be
I
able to do half the health
agree.
at level 3.
I agree. Oh my god.
The champion I tend to ban is Morgana, not because it's a particularly strong champion, but because it limits my agency as a player. In an already low agency role, it's important to have as much agency as possible. And by banning Morgana, even in quote-unquote losing matchups, you still have more agency.
I love that you are dedicated to.
Analyst Steve.
Oh no,
That's
that's
my
an actual.
favorite.
That's not even.
Analyst Steve.
He just talks like he's reading off a prompter.
Like he plays
Love how
Camille. How's he
dedicated
supposed
you
to?
are.
He plays Camille support. How's he supposed to engage with a black shield?
Oh, it's worth mentioning. I played Camille's support in 2019, as in before it was actually viable.
I was there. I was in that game. Don't do it again.
Stop
it.
I can pull up my Darius support VODs.
Please don't. That is awful.
So for me as a top laner, right now I'm banning Garen, but if this champion was more popular, I'd ban it every single time, and that's Vayne, because I never want to see Vayne top lane. It's just...
Dude, it's everywhere right now, and TF is everywhere on the top lane.
Yeah, TF is up there too. But luckily, I'm at low elo, so they don't know how to play those champions correctly yet. But the ADC players actually do. When they get, they get autofilled top, they'll play it up there, and it's just the worst.
I feel that. Or Lucian mid is now becoming quite popular, like Lucian, Tristana, Ezreal. Yeah,
Well, all the
Ezreal.
ADCs are meta mid now because the best way to build tank is to build health, and so like resistances aren't as important. Health items are just better than resistance items, so.
Nice. So I guess I asked the worst champion. My other question before we move on would be, what's everyone's go-to champion if you didn't have to worry about like matchups or whatever? Like, what's your comfort champion? Mine, it gets banned every game, so I can, shout it out there. It is Seraphine. I'm a Seraphine main, never allowed to play it ever. If you could not ban it, that'd be so great. Honestly, I just want to play it. What are your guys' favorites? So I can ban it. Just kidding, I actually want to know. And ban it. We'll talk at once.
It's not my favorite champion, but I am contractually obligated to always hover Callista. So feel free to ban it. I don't care.
How many contracts do you sign? Because you seem to be obligated to do a lot of things. You're not really a free man, are you?
Yeah, I have a lot of contracts. My wife's a lawyer.
Dang.
EliteOmega, I saw you were about to speak.
Oh, that might just be my background because currently one of the doors are just freaking out. But my favorite champion is Ziggs. Bomba.
No.
Small little man with a very big ego and has lots of C4. So, I like it.
Jonicas, I want two answers from you.
Okay.
I want your answer and then
Analyst Steve.
answer.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna have to rush this.
We'll talk about mine while you come up with that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Mine is for sure Poppy. It's like, even against like counter matchups, I feel super comfortable into, especially like Darius and Mordekaiser. I don't know why, but I feel like I can play it into anything. So I'm a dirty Poppy main.
Poppy is dirty, especially like in the support role. Oh, she's annoying.
Yeah, and I love just ulting people as soon as they TP to tower to get back to lane. I love just ulting them back,
That
halfway to where they were going.
Funny. It's so annoying, but it's great to watch.
Oh God.
It says Teemo, doesn't it? I swear to God, it says
No. So I asked for justification, and it put in a lot more text than I was expecting. Okay, so to start off, for my personal answer is whatever I feel like doing that no one else will understand. Now, one of the more obvious examples of this right now is Cassante. I can actually give a numerical calculation for why Cassante is viable as a support. I don't think any of you want to sit there and hear it, though. So just trust me, it works. I've played it in finals 4 games in a row.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the
Wait, you lost at least one of those games if there was 4 games.
That is true, but also I
How
had Doki
viable
on
is
my
it
team.
really?
Considering
never
the fact
mind.
I had
Never
Doki on
mind,
my
never
team,
mind. Alright,
winning
fair,
more
fair.
than one is...
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's the numerical answer he's got. I have 1 Doki more than everyone else.
Yeah, okay. So now here is the exact quote. Rakan is a charming and mercurial Vistaya, known for being the greatest battle dancer in Lotland tribal history. Here are the key points that justify his character and role in League of Legends. 1. Battle Dancer. Rakan's unique ability as the Battle Dancer sets him apart, making him a dynamic and agile champion on the battlefield. 2. Partner Zaya. Inspired by his partner Zaya's crusade, Rakan has found purpose in fighting alongside her to reclaim their homeland. 3. Entertainer. Rakan is not just a fighter, but also an entertainer, bringing flair and style to his battles with his captivating dance moves. 4. Vistine heritage. As a Vistine, Rakan embodies the mystical and nature-inspired qualities of his species, adding depth to his character. 5. Relationship with Zaya. His relationship with Zaya, an ethno-nationalist fighting for their people, showcases his loyalty and dedication to their cause. And 6. In-game abilities. Rakan's in-game abilities reflect his lore, emphasizing his agility, charm, and support capabilities that make him a valuable asset in team compositions. Overall, Rakan's lore and gameplay combine to create a character that is not only entertaining, but also integral to the narrative gameplay experience in League of Legends. It is worth mentioning, I asked based off of gameplay perspective.
I love Rakan. He's one of my favorite champions. So
Can I change my answer?
yes.
My new champion is Draven because he's racist, so I don't have to be.
Give me a second.
Oh, that's getting bleeped out. Is that their final warning? Okay, cool. So Puff and Sons is no longer in the league.
GG's, guys. We tried.
So that was the strategy. Get people banned. Got it.
Right.
Well, I'm banning my own team, so I don't know if that's really a effective strategy.
It's a strategy.
All right, should we move on to the next one?
Yes. We are now going to Warden. Warden only has 6 teams, so it's a little bit small. But
It's updated on the master doc, by the way. If you guys need
is
it.
it? Okay. Okay, so I only know one team in Warden, and that's Egonog. So I would say the player to watch would actually be Artemis. Their support. I've played in a couple of customs against Artemis, and they are definitely the support to watch, as well as the name pronunciation is terrible. Volka Fenrica in the top lane is a player to watch on that team. Just because I've gone against them and my booty hole got kicked. So, alright. So out of the top team, like not top team, top of the top, the best of the best, the Diamonds to Challengers. What is everyone's predictions? What's everyone looking forward to seeing? And I shall get Bean to go first, actually.
Okay, so unfortunately I don't know a whole lot about... Actually, I don't know hardly anything except for Beards and Cats and Doki as the owners, I think. But I guess what I'm looking forward to is to see if Piglet lives up to his name. I doubt... Obviously, this is probably not the actual Piglet from, Telecom, but as a player, Piglet was really good and looks like he's a fairly high rank, and to be honest, these guys are gods compared to what I can possibly even think of, and so yeah, I don't really have a whole lot with them.
I mean, Rar has macro beats from Plat Worlds, so that's pretty good. You're never gonna be able to ban him out because his champion pick is based exclusively on his Starbucks order of the day. So good luck to everybody facing him. The other team that I know people on is also Next Level. I know Piglet, he's chill. He was part of doing the NACL stuff for a little bit with us. Not with me, but with his own org. So I'm sure he's well tuned in and tapped into the actual challenger play and high elo meta. So I'm sure game knowledge wise he'll be fine. I know Fury from BOL and Bean should as well, I think. He's coached several low elo teams, so game knowledge should be there. He's great at TFT, and if any of that translates at all, he's gonna be strong for them. And then Professor X is really good as well. So those are the ones that I know of.
Now, is NLE, is that nameless?
No, that's Next Level Esports.
Who's next on this one here?
I'll go, but I think Warden's just gonna be a snooze fest. There's gonna be a lot of macro. People actually know what they're doing. I don't want to watch this. Roar's gonna do some crazy stuff because Doki is still a part of it.
He's not listed on this roster, which is
I think he's actually
weird.
taking a step back from this one specifically.
It doesn't mean he won't do some weird stuff.
It's pretty modest of Doki to not put himself on this team.
But I think the orange team's gonna win the whole thing just because their logo's pretty.
It is very pretty.
And AKS, their logo's pretty too.
They came in last, into the league, so they already knew what they were signing up for. You wouldn't sign up if you didn't know you could win. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with NLE just because Piglet was a world champion, and I can only assume as a player, since Piglet's gonna be a player on this one, that they're gonna be champions too.
Understandable. Personally, I have
Analyst Steve.
putting Akuma Shurikens as the favorites for the entire tournament.
Ooh, okay. Does it say why?
Recent performance and potential suggest a high ranking.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. I should have just known that was gonna be the answer.
I also asked for player rankings, like 10 players to watch, okay? And here is the player rankings. I'll say the name and then the team. 9 Klein, Akuma Shurikens. Septi, Akuma Shurikens. Dab, Akuma Shurikens. Dark Lord, Soswald. Oh, it just made a typo for some reason. Akuma Shurikens. Murati, Akuma Shurikens. Sheesh Riven, Dropping Point Blackfrost. Pride, Dropping Point Blackfrost. Presidium, Dropping Point Blackfrost. Valka Fenrika, Econog, and then Rogue Flix, Econog. Those are the top 10 best players in Warden, according to...
Analyst Steve.
I love how you call it your analyst.
Steve?
Wait, what's that, Steve? Oh, Contingent Esports. Okay, yeah. So, new development, Contingent Esports Orange. I actually have them placed at now 2nd place, according to my analyst. He's just off here to the side. He's giving me some information.
How much do you pay your analyst?
He gets some water every week.
Dang, he gets water? Crazy.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
any
still
team that's
basement.
not RAR. Because Macro Beast is Macro Beast.
Understandable.
We do have one more topic. to
I do
cover.
actually have RAR in last place as well.
Do we have one more topic? Hold on. Alright, out of all the leagues, who is your fan favorite team? For me, it is Veracity because it's my team and we're totally gonna win it. But my other pick would definitely be Bare Minimum, because my friend Vera's on it, and then of course, why did I just forget their name?
The Bel'Veth player.
Yes. Accel is definitely one of the junglers to watch on my team. But I know I'm like stroking my team up, but you know, go Veracity, we're gonna win it all, or we're going to die trying. So, what does everyone else think? As long as your opinions aren't different from mine. Just kidding, go ahead.
Go ahead, Accel.
My favorite team is Puffin and Sons because they're the closest to getting yeeted. So clearly they're doing something right or wrong, depending on, perspective. Second favorite is Conduit Glory. I'm a big fan of Genetics and JJH, and Peas, but a little less so Peas. So those are my top 2.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I actually joined LXC mid-season last year with the sole intention of hate watching the entire league. I plan on doing that again. So, RAR number 1, just so I can see them lose. Firsthand.
Retweet.
EliteOmega.
My favorite is Braum Lives Matter, just because I
Yes.
love a buff man, he's shirtless, so And then second, Needlessly Large Rods, just for the same reason, because Tarek is hot too.
I mean, Braum definitely, Tarek, but the name Braum Lives Matter is the best. I actually scrimmed against them. They were a very good coordinated team. I would watch out. I just want to say watch out for like all the teams, especially mine. RAR. Actually, no, I was gonna say RAR, but it's an actual name.
So my pick is Tactical Feed and Arbiter, just because they're a brand new team. Like not a lot of people have really seen them except for maybe one player. But they did play in Budget LCS last split. They got last, and they kept the core of the roster for their players, which tells me that they're tilt proof. Like you can go through old season losing, you got some good mental, and then just to come back and try again, like that's huge. And then I thought it was kind of a cool story that they had, because I talked to their jungler Materium, and he said that this is a group of friends that have been playing together for like 6 or 7 years. They played Heroes of the Storm together and other MOBAs and stuff. So they're just like League of Legends, just the next MOBA for them to play. And I thought it was a really cool story. And then I guess my second one would be, it was, hold on a second. It was in Crusader, the Cage Monkeys. Even though I kind of gave Riley Sauce a little bit of crap, I'm rooting for them just because I don't like the narrative that rank means everything. And I hope this team, because they have a lot of lower ranks compared to the rest of the teams, I'm hoping they kind of just prove them all wrong.
I agree with you. Rank doesn't always matter, especially with all like the issues with the rank system that has been forever, but it's honestly really bad the last couple of seasons trying to climb. Steve, it's
Steve has anything else to add? Yeah.
Steve, any no, you think is okay? He's retiring, so he's trying to retire. I'm gonna have to discuss this with him later.
Oh, does he get his glass of water now?
Hey, give me a second. You see this water?
That wasn't even full.
Yes.
He didn't say he gives him a full glass. He just said he gives him water.
Oh, a glass of, oh god, just a glass of water. The poor dehydrated man. Or woman. Yeah. Oh god. No, the jokes. Alright, so does anyone have anything to add?
Just good luck to all the teams. Like it's gonna be a fun one, especially Arbiter, which is the one I plan on watching the most. A lot of teams, a lot of ways to show up and show out, and hopefully some of those new names can be old names, if that makes sense.
Don't be nervous, just have a good time. Everyone's here for fun.
Exactly, and to win, so make sure you destroy each other, but with a smile on your face. As one does. I would like to thank our guest speakers, Jonicas for joining us, Accel and EliteOmega. Your insights have been very nice, and we hope to see you back here in the coming weeks to talk about the leagues once the matches have started. There'll definitely be some interesting topics even next week. And then, of course, thank you to myself for being the best, host ever. Just kidding. And of course, the best extra host, Bean, so we can share 50% of the awesomeness.
And... you can have 60, I'll take 40.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say 60, but I was gonna save that for next week.
Might as well make it 70-30.
Yeah, and then honestly, like as the weeks go, it'll just be like 100% me, and you'll just get a mention. And of course, I'd like to thank the audience for sticking with us, especially through Steve's interpretation of Doki for, about 20 minutes. But we do love Doki. And my final thoughts are, don't be nervous for Tuesday, because that is, my league is starting on Tuesday, and my team is actually the first to be streamed, which I am not excited about. But the rest of my team is super excited to be streamed. Performance anxiety and all. So when I miss every single one of my abilities, please don't judge me. I'm really not that bad. But anyway, peace out.